In total, the Cal Bears were 30 for 66 on field goal attempts and went 8 for 24 for three-pointers. Matthew, you had the pleasure of being at that game. What did you see?
Yeah, Jonah, glad to be here for your first call. Going back to the last game for Cal against Oregon, a very competitive game throughout all four periods, and Cal was in it for the most part, right? You've seen Jada Curry had her flashes. You've seen other players go off against Oregon, but when it came down to it in crunch time in the fourth quarter, Cal just couldn't convert, and they had too many turnovers, and it resulted in a loss for them.
These Oregon State Beavers are a very evenly matched team with our Cal Bears. They're 11-9 overall, so a game better. 3-6 within the conference, so definitely a little better at conference play. But they, too, lost their last game against Stanford Friday by a final score of 63-30. Some things to note heading into this game. This Cal women's team, they started really well. They started 10-4, but have lost 6 straight. So they need to get it together to ensure that they don't go below 500 for the first time this year. What does this Cal team have to do to ensure that they don't go below 500?
Like most games for this Cal women's basketball team, it begins and starts with Jada Curry, right? Best player, one of the best freshmen in the country last season. Not the same season she's having this year in her sophomore run, but, begins and ends with her.
Absolutely. You said it there. This Cal team's really good. So good, in fact, that they're averaging 70.3 points. This should definitely be a close game, if not a win. But Cal's going to come on top of this game.
Yeah, Jonah, both teams pretty evenly matched, as you said, both averaging just 70 points on the season per game. So we'll see who gets the edge tonight. Pretty evenly matched, and glad to be here.
As you said, a lot of great players on this team. Is there one in particular that you're looking out for today?
Yeah, let's start off with Oregon State. Guard 22, Pavilion who can put points up in bunches. Her season high, it's about 40 points against Nevada last month in December. She's a very talented guard who can put points up. And like for Cal, as you mentioned, Jada Curry is going to be a match with the guards. Curry versus Van Hoofen. We'll see who gets the edge once again.
Absolutely. Let's look at the starting lineups for both teams today. We'll start with the road team. We'll start with the Oregon State Beavers. Alexis Aaron is playing. Then Bendu Yaney, Noel Manin, Mitrovic, and of course, as you said, Ben Olhoffen. Looking at the Cal side of things, this has been pretty much their starting lineup for every game this year. At the top, we have Leilani McIntosh, their point guard. Kamari Martin, their leading team in three-pointers. Then, of course, Lucha Shipholt. And then our favorite, seems like everybody's favorite on this team, our favorite guard, Jada Curry. And then, of course, Peanut Tuchele. This has been pretty much their starting lineup for every game. How important is that consistency?
Yeah, for all sports, consistency and camaraderie is the name of the game. And if you don't have that, you're not going to have much success throughout the season. And unfortunately for Cal, despite having this same lineup for most of the season, it hasn't resulted in any type of wins for the most part.
We'll go back to the studio before we come. Charisma Ortiz with the ball. Around the high post, gives it to McIntosh. On the near arc, she drives it in. Gives it to Langarita for three. It's good.
Langarita. Someone get that lady a margarita.
Couldn't agree with you more, Matthew. Here's Van Olhoffen. Slings a pass over to Bendu Yaney. Just outside the paint. Steps into that paint. Puts up a shot. No good. Falls down while she does it. And an attempt to rebound by Oregon State. And Mitrovic goes out of bounds. Media timeout called. We'll stay in the air here. Just 4 minutes left, Matthew. What's the downfall for this Cal team, and how can they switch it around?
Yeah, just a three-point game, and every time Cal responds and makes this a closer game than it really is, Oregon State, like you said, shuts the door on them. It's been an old-school West Coast shootout, to say the least, but Cal wants to get this lead for the first time. They're going to have to get some stops, and it just hasn't happened through 4 quarters. With 4 minutes left, we'll see if they can get a few stops and hopefully take the lead.
Yeah, someone to note, just to get those stops, and they've been doing so. The last 3 minutes and 12 seconds of this game, Oregon State hasn't made any field goals, so they're doing their job. It was an 8-point deficit, and they've closed it to 3. Sharman Smith here talking to her team, trying to draw up a nice play. Haas Pavilion and all of its 11,858 seat glory is cheering their hands for the t-shirt toss. So a lot of excitement in Haas Pavilion right now as they're doing the famous t-shirt toss. It's National Girls and Women in Sports Day, so a lot of pink in the crowd. So I'm going to note, we talked earlier about how the Cal field goal percentage for this entire game is nearly 34%, but they've gotten a lot of chances at free throws, and in those free throws, they're 11 for 13 rather. Matthew, how important is it to make those free throws when you get those opportunities?
Yeah, free throws are the easiest way to get points. If you can get to the line and get those easy baskets, you're going to have a good chance of winning the game. And Cal's done a great job of that tonight with 11 and 13. Talk about the field goal percentage. Haven't had any field goals go down, but when you get into the line and get easy buckets, you're always going to be in that game and have a chance to win it.
Absolutely. Making those free throws and limiting their turnovers to just 5 is why they're still in this ball game. Here's Jada Curry, gives it off to Kamari Martin, slings a pass to McIntosh. McIntosh slowing it down. They had all of that media timeout to draw up a fantastic play. Let's see if they can execute it. Here's Martin. Stepped into the left elbow. Long pass to McIntosh. McIntosh steps up, puts it up. It's good and one.
There we go, Jordan. The free throw opportunity we talked about, getting into the paint, getting easy baskets.
Absolutely. Leilani McIntosh. Some great footwork to get that layup. And don't look now, but Cal's within 1. There's McIntosh. 4 for 4 today on free throws. Makes it 5 for 5. Tie game, 4 minutes left. Called on Jada Curry. She's going to turn over the ball. A little shoving to Noelle Mannon.
Real questionable call throughout this game right there, calling a push off on Jada Curry. And it seems as if she was the one being harassed job right there in that possession.
We have the pleasure of being right next to this coaching staff, and you could see the passion and frustration in their faces, and in Sharman Smith's current conversation with this ref.
Yeah, one thing about this Cowboys basketball team is that they're fearless, relentless, and they're going to play hard for all 4 quarters, and we've seen that for this game as well.
As you can see, a lot of Matthew, I think we're in for a classic here on this Sunday.
Definitely, it is lively here in Haas Pavilion. Both teams putting on a show here on this Sunday afternoon game of Pac-12 basketball, Jonah.
Fans holding up the signs they've handed out that say, "This is Bears." And a half seconds left in this one. I've asked you several times, what do they need to do the rest of the game? What do they need to do in these 16 seconds, Matthew?
Yeah, Jonah, right here with 16 and a half seconds left on the game clock, right? And on the shot clock, only 2 for Oregon State. So Oregon State's going to have to get a shot off real quick. Look for Vanna Holfman to get a shot off, as she's Oregon State's best player. And probably going to see Jada Curry deny ball. Might even see Cal double team Van Holfman right here to deny the shot with only 2 seconds left.
Great point about that shot clock. So Oregon State would have to do something very creative if they want to get points in before that shot clock runs out. A lot of passion here by this Cal bench and a lot of excitement. And into the game comes Sella Heidi, this 6'7" junior, towering just about over the rest of her teammates in this game. She's up against Noelle Mannon, who's 5'6". This is rather humorous. It's going to be deflected out after the break. And so 1 second left on the shot clock. So it would take a lot of creativity to get a point in with this 1 second. Virtually impossible. Both teams are going to reconvene to their benches now. Deja vu.
Deja vu's right. 1 second left for Oregon State to get any type of shot off. It's not impossible. They can get a shot off in 1 second. Look for an inbound lob.
I like that, Matthew. It's pretty obvious, but what's the strategy behind bringing in Salahidi at 6'7" to defend Noel Mannon, who's 5'6".
Yeah, Salahidi, obviously Cal's tallest player at 6'7", crazy wingspan, and she has the chance to deflect the ball at the inbound. She's going to deny the heck out of that ball with that enormous size she has.
A great job by Sharman Smith to use the stature of her players to ensure best optimal strategical defense. Beers puts it in. Gardner puts it up. No good! It's Cal ball. Cal up 63-62, 13 seconds left in this game. And it looks like they're just going to dribble it home. But we'll see. They're reconvening with their benches. Matthew, what would presumably a win, which it really looks like, what would that mean to this Cal team?
I mean everything going on with what's going on with the Cal Athletics program as a recent victory. We talk about football, basketball, baseball. There has been much success. And the lone bright spot for me this year has been the Cal men's basketball team, right? The record isn't the greatest, but you can bet one thing. Night in and night out, this Cal men's basketball team is going to fight hard. And once again, we see it. They're up by 1 and they have a chance to win it.
Yeah, Oregon, they're cold. They haven't scored in the last 3 minutes. They're one of their last 8 field goals, so they got cold. Just a relentless effort by this Cal women's team and a lot of passion. Presumably take this game home.
Definitely, yeah. With 13 seconds left, Cal has the ball up 63-62. It's going to come down to free throws once again. If they can knock down the 2 free throws, this game should be ice.
Absolutely. What a game, Matthew. What did you see from this team? The resilience, the resistance to get this win and a late game win at that.
Yeah, Jonah, you see what you always see when you come to watch the Cal men's basketball team. Resiliency, fight, grit, grind, anything you name it. This Cal men's basketball team has it all, and it results in a good win against the Oregon State Beaver squad.
California Golden Bears beat the